The police there making an arrest after a deadly shooting at a Lawrenceville apartment complex. CBS 46's Tracy Bragg has more on the story.
Gwinnett police tell me this man, 53-year-old Brian Miller, is now behind bars facing charges of...
Right now at 4:30, Georgia making headlines for all of the wrong reasons.
Last year, the state landed in the top 8 for the largest increase in the number of fatal crashes nationwide. CBS 46's Tori Cooper is live tonight with what's being done to make our streets safer. Tori.
AAA says a number of states are dealing with this dramatic uptick in deadly crashes, and the main way that we can make a change starts right here in the driver's seat. AAA says Georgia roadways became emptier in the last year, but they also became more deadly.
But we're certainly seeing an increase in fatalities on Georgia roadways. In fact, through yesterday, we're about 27% higher year to date in the number of fatalities.
The National Safety Council says in 2020 alone, more than 42,000 people died in a fatal crash in the U.S., marking the highest number of fatalities in 13 years nationwide. This year alone, Garrett Townsend of AAA says Georgia landed in the top 8 for the largest increase in the number of fatal crashes nationally. Atlanta metro area drivers say they're not surprised.
Cars catching on fire and you know wrecks and drunk drivers and things along those lines. So it's definitely hectic in Atlanta.
Townsend says so far this year in Georgia, 647 people have died in a fatal crash, and 60% of those people were not wearing their seatbelt. Last year at this time, Townsend says 511 people had died in a vehicle crash in Georgia. He says he started seeing a dramatic dip in the number of drivers on the roadways last year, too, due to the pandemic. But he says fatal crashes also started to rise last year because more drivers were speeding.
These open roadways, people felt more comfortable increasing their speed, leading to crashes.
He says this new data exposes our lack of an effective roadway safety culture, and in order to change the destructive driving styles we are seeing, it starts with state and city leaders continuing to map out where they can lower speed limits, enact tougher legislation on distracted driving and traffic violations. But he also says there's one other key that will help save more lives on Georgia roadways.
People have to change their behavior on the roadway to drive down those numbers of fatalities.
Now, he says a number of these crashes are also due to negligence, and that's why it's critical that you remember to buckle up before your next trip. Reporting live in Midtown, I'm Tori Cooper, CBS 46 News.